Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
Yes, good evening. Sarr here from Football Heritage TV in the dreaded international week. We're trying to make the best of it as much as we can, but everybody is just wanting Ange Ball back. Tonight, a star-studded lineup that includes Kate, just a girl who loves Spurs. Big up, Kate. How are we doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. I'll just say
Good.
I'm all right, so you don't all have to ask. I'm okay. I'm all right.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I hope
I'm
Alan's
all right.
feeling better
Pardon?
today because he was poor. I hope Alan's better today. He was poorly last night on his stream, so I hope he's feeling better.
Oh, well, I'll come to Alan next then. How are you, Alan? Is it the wall? Is it your mustard wall? Is it making you feel sick?
He's muted.
You're doing well. You're doing well here, Alan.
Yeah, I know. It's doing really well. Yeah, the mustard wall has healed me. I'm all good. Well, little sniffle here and there, but back from the man flu, so it's all good. I'm feeling good. And good to hear you're good as well, Sava. Good to hear you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'll say it each time. Yeah, I'm doing well. We've got Ash Matic, who's gracing us with his presence tonight. How are you, Ash? You all right?
Yeah, man. I just had to do a quick substitution for Marlon, quick tag, and I just thought I'd jump in real quick. How are you guys? How's everyone? Yeah, you're good? All right, cool. Let's move on. Cool.
Yeah, I think we're all good. I think we're all good. Just like VAR that might be about to rule off a goal for Alvaro Morata here for Spain versus Norway. And Haas, as always, he's become a little bit of furniture. Here he is with all his shoes. How are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm all good. Got my boy Ashmatic here today, so you might as well call me Hasmatic for tonight. It's all good. I'm going to change my name on there in a minute. And I just want to say that guy Alan is a mustard fella. And Kate, nice to see you. Let's crack on.
Bless.
Well, now we've got the dad jokes out of the way. Let's crack on. Look, guys and girls, it's always difficult, isn't it, during the international window? Because I don't know about you, I kind of feel like I pretend that I'm really into international football, but deep down we just want to get back to Spurs. In today's show, what I want to do is we'll have a little chat first, and then I want to go through each player that's played this season and give them a scoring out of 10, purely because that will rile some people in the chat that when I don't give everybody a 10 out of 10. But that could be quite fun. Let me start with you, Ash. Look, Spurs, a brilliant start to the season, as we know, 8 games unbeaten. International week, we talked about this last week. So far, I don't believe we've picked up any injuries. From what I can see, I don't think Sonny played the other day. Kulu didn't play. James Maddison looked like he come off unscathed. Is this a good thing that the squad had a couple of weeks off? Or is this a bad thing in terms of losing momentum? What do you make of it?
I like how you just dropped the momentum bar in there. Because I was going to say, yeah, straight away I was about to say, yeah, come on. They all need a rest. We know how Sonny's groin was pulling. Every 2 seconds, Maddison and Son was getting taken off. Especially with like 15, 20 minutes to go, and fans were getting frustrated because they were saying, oh, look, we could have taken Arsenal, we could have done this and that against other teams and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I actually am a big believer in momentum. And yes, it's a dying shame that the international break came at the time it did. But overall, I'm going to say it is a good thing that they had a break, because I think these boys are buzzing. Like, it's all good and well representing your country. I know they're passionate. I know, like, you know, Romero's passionate about Argentina. I know even Emerson Royale likes to do a little dance when he goes back to Brazil. But I reckon these boys are buzzing. They can't wait to get back to Ange Ball. When they link up, it's one family, it's one love, and they get to play their football that they love doing so much. And I think they're raring to go under the lights against Fulham. I think they've all got a point to prove. I think every game there's a point to prove, because obviously they're top now. And now everyone's waiting for them for their downfall, in my opinion. Yeah. So I think these boys are buzzing. I think the time off was good. It gives each other a time to miss each other as well, you know. But now they're going to link up and they're going to be all good, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't disagree with you. I'll come to you, Alan, before I do. Just under 145 of you in here as we're growing, and only 36 likes. That's poor. Come on, this is Richarlison conversion rates here. Let's get this to more Sonny and Kane. Oh, did I talk about Harry Kane? I know. I forgot. He's gone. Let's get to Sonny and Maddison kind of goal and assist conversions. Alan, it's interesting, isn't it? Ash makes a good point. Now we're top. It does feel very much like certainly every other fan base is waiting, aren't they? They're waiting for us to lose so that they can do the whole, we can call it now. You can play the bingo. Spurs, the bubbles burst. Oh, they're not as good as, all of these things. What it is true, right? Everyone is waiting for us to lose.
Yeah, look, I've especially like certain Liverpool fans have just overreacted to that whole thing. Have been now saying that Spurs need to be humbled. Can't wait for them to be in the mud. Can't wait to tell Spurs fans, told you so. Hold on, Spurs fans weren't saying we're going to win the league or be top after 8 games. No Spurs fan around was saying that. Spurs fans were like, I reckon we can get 6th, maybe, depending on how we start or whatever, like get to 5th or 4th. That was where we were at. So from where we are, it's rival fans that are overhyping us, are big in it, like they're praising us. And now we're top. Now they're going, well, hold on, we don't like you there. Now we're going to start saying we can't wait for you to fall down. We're like, you're doing all this. Spurs fans on. The odd occasion, I've seen a Tottenham fan said about why can't we challenge? And I'm like, okay, it's a bit too soon. But rival fans are just acting so weird at the moment. And it tells me that they're rattled by something they've seen from Spurs in regards to whether it's Ange, the players we've got. Because if we are little Spurs who don't win anything, 10-pot club, blah, 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 whatever you say year in, year out, why after 8 games are you losing your before we even are? Like, I just don't understand it. So long may it continue. I hope we keep this run going as long as we can, just to annoy them as much as possible, because I just like watching it on socials. I like watching it on other people's shows. The sheer delusion that goes on about what Spurs are doing at the moment and how we need to be humbled. And I'm just like, you're just pathetic. Grow up. But it's good seeing other rival fans lose their shit rather than Spurs fans have a go at themselves about their own team and the way we run. So it's good seeing things from a different way this time.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Kate, it's interesting, isn't it? Football fans are funnier than ever. Funny is the word I'm going to chuck in. Obviously, you know my true feelings from being in the WhatsApp group, what I think of football fans in 2023, but I won't upset people right away. Wait at least an hour for that. It's interesting, isn't it? Because Alan's right. Both Ash and Alan so far have been right. Alan's right in terms of we never said we were going to be top. We never said we were going to win a title. We never said we would be 8 games unbeaten. And now everyone's saying, oh, Spurs fans are acting too big for their boots. We're not. But as a fan, and I need you to be brutally honest with me here, forget that you're with Jim, because I know Jim's away with the fairies. But are you secretly deep down, are we all waiting for that moment where we know the pin's going to burst that balloon? Or is this going to be one where we go, hang on, this balloon isn't bursting? Or are we expecting it?
I can't say I'm waiting for it, but I know it's going to happen.
I mean? That's probably the wrong turn of phrase. You know what I mean? Like deep down, are you? Yeah,
I'm expecting it to happen probably in December. I think we're going to come down with a big bang when we get 7 games with such a weak squad. I certainly never thought we'd be anywhere near the top of the table at any point during the season, whether it be after 2 games, 8 games, 10 games, 20 games. I just didn't think for a minute. I think there's always going to be a few people that get carried away. I think the majority of the fan base are just enjoying the ride and sort of excited to see where we go. And there's so much thought about from rival fans saying we were lucky winning this and lucky and VAR and what have you. That, like Alan said, they're obviously rattled, because why would they even be commenting if they weren't? Yeah. So, I am expecting a drop off at some point. I'm just trying not to think about it. But like I say, I think most fans are pretty level-headed. You've got the crazy ones like Jim and Kuva, and then you've got the sort of more realistic ones like us lot.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Because right now I've seen Spurs fans like anywhere from between, of course, we're not winning the league, i.e., me, to fans going, well, why not? Why not? Sabbath? Why not? We're winning a league. And I'm like, cool. Ash, before, Hashmatic, whatever you guys call yourselves over there. By the way, get over, subscribe to the guys at Southview Coys. They bring you looks, they bring you tactics, they're good looking. Did I mention it? They bring you their looks. What more do you want? Get over to Alan, he's bringing you mustard walls. And get over to Kate. Kate's just a good egg. Get over to Kate as well. And anyone in the chat who's a moderator, please put the links in. It would be much appreciated. And Nick, why the hell are you not a member? That is absolutely shocking behaviour from you. Hass, before we move on to rating some players, why can't we do a Leicester? There's a question I get asked 10 times a day. I could do a video about washing up, and the question I will get is, but why can't Spurs do a Leicester? So why can't we do a Leicester, Has?
There's always a chance, but, you know, it's when Leicester did it, teams around them, you know, they weren't established in the fact that they were still trying to sort of rebuild their teams and things like that. Obviously, we were up there with them for a certain period of time, but I think this season, when you've got the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, they've all got established sides at the moment playing really good football, really, you know, vying for that title. But, you know, when Leicester did it, everyone was in, you know, poo-poo land. It was just, they were all over the shop. They were sort of, you know, rebuilding their squads and stuff and had European commitments. So I think it's difficult at the moment. Yes, you could look at the fact that we've got one game a week, but we would need to keep our entire 11 that starts every week. We'd have to keep them fresh and playing every week to be able to challenge. And I just can't see us doing a Leicester. But, you know, those, you know, like Leicester City's championship win, you know, it doesn't come around too often. It's just one of those things. I don't think we can do it. I don't think we can do what Leicester did. Just purely because everyone else around us, the top teams around us, have those established teams at the moment. So, and we haven't. It's as simple as that.
So now we've established that Hass is the negative one on the panel tonight. We can crack on and move on forward with the rest of the show. Shocking, Hass. We're winning the league, man. Just, you got to believe it. We're winning the league. No one else is as good as us. Look, we have all aboard the league winning train. Look, guys, I don't want to go.
Can I just also add? Someone made a really good point. Also, Paul Wiley, you make a really good point. Everyone absolutely hates us as well. It seems like, but remember when they won the title? Everyone wanted them to win it. Chelsea did it for them. They absolutely put on a stonker of a show against us. Hazard got that goal that won them the league and stuff. Everyone in the league wanted them to do it. As soon as they got that past that barrier of they were challenging for the league title, it was like, yeah, we want Leicester to do it. We want Leicester to do it. So that's another thing as well. No one really wants.
Do you think there's going to be if we get to like January time and we're right up there, like within 2-3 points of a title, you think everyone else other than Arsenal, Liverpool, and City is going to be going, you know what? Yeah, go on, Spurs. Come on. Yeah, go on. We're all cheering on Spurs to win the league.
No chance. Most of them, and I'd say 80% of them, are going to do everything they can to stop us, including teams in the bottom half. Because it's just Tottenham, isn't it? No one wants Tottenham to do it. So,
yeah, there is this thing, isn't there? It's almost like for a team that don't win things, right? For a team that haven't really been a challenge to anyone in terms of league titles for decades and decades, we are really hated. Like, we're really hated, and it's bemusing. But look, guys, I don't want to go round and round in a circle. I just want to have general chat. By the way, for anyone who cares, the games at the moment are going on: Norway 0, Spain 0, Poland 0, Moldova 1, Romania 2, Andorra 0, Turkey 0, Latvia 0, and Wales 0, Croatia 0. So some important games going on tonight in the world of Europe. I want to talk about out of 10s for our players. It's something I don't normally do, but I'm going to do it. So I want to start with our first 11, and I'll choose what our first 11 should be. Otherwise, we'll have a whole discussion about that before we even start. I think we all know what it is anyway. And then we'll go to the squad players. I just want to know what you think these players have done so far. And yeah, we're top, but obviously every player isn't a 10 out of 10. Otherwise, we'd be winning every game 4 or 5-0. So I'm just interested to know how good everyone is, if where we think the strengths are and the weaknesses. And I want to start by talking about somebody that goes completely under the radar for me. Somebody that took a lot of stick. I saw Vicario take a lot of stick in YouTube chats, Facebook chat, whatever social media chats, WhatsApp groups I was on, where people were going, "Oh my God, watch this YouTube video. The guy never catches a ball. He's bad. This is Daniel Levy being Daniel Levy, going cheap. He's not Raya." But guys, I mean, I don't care who goes first. He's been nothing short of brilliant, right? I can't think of him doing anything that has cost us.
For me, like, I'll start it. Vicario has come out straight away and he's just given the spine to the team, because the centre backs, the communication that he gives to the team, I think that gets unnoticed a lot. So the communication between Romero, himself, and Mickey van der Ven, at times they play like a back three. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but the keeper comes out, Vicario comes out, and they use him as like a centre back at times. So that's what helps us to kind of draw opposition onto us. So that's him on the ball. I think off the ball, when he's making the saves, doing actual goalkeeper work, I think a lot of people have commended him on that. And I think they've been impressed by his shot stopping. I think even when it comes to like corners and stuff, or balls getting crossed in, I think that too, I thought he was going to be a lot more flappy with like catching the ball, punching the ball out. I thought it'd be a lot more unstable, but he hasn't actually been too bad in that sense. But yeah, in terms of being an actual goalkeeper, you want your goalkeeper to be a goalkeeper, and with his feet, he's been able to distribute the ball quite well, left foot and right foot, first touch. Because a lot of the criticism for Lloris was he would slow down the game, so you give the ball to Lloris and he would overthink it and then put the whole back line under pressure. And so for me, Vicario, that's what's impressed me the most. When we're playing out the back, he's able to do it and do the sweeper keeper thing as well and intercept when needed be. So, like, I think he started off a bit shaky against Brentford, but that was going to be always the case. You know, it's your first game away from new teammates. You're trying to get used to the speed of play as well, the Premiership. And I thought he passed after that with flying colours, because the next game was Man United, and I don't think he really put a foot wrong. I thought he did really well in that game. And then ever since then, it's like been an upward trajectory for me.
Yeah, I mean, Alan, I'll come to you just really, really quickly. I mean, in pre-season as well, I think the difficult thing, everyone was judging him, but he was still playing with, I mean, Romero didn't really play a lot in pre-season, if I remember. Van der Ven hadn't been bought while we were on tour. He was still playing with Tanganga and Dyer and Davis and Sanchez, and we were judging him by that. Did people go a little bit too early with their judgment of this guy?
They did. I mean, I went to like, when we got him, I was like, I wanted Raya. You know, I don't know why we're going cheap again. I said all this, and look, that first game of the season was nerves. That's what it was. New game, like new team, new thing like that. And the amount of hate that went towards him was just ridiculous. Again, you touched on it. In pre-season, we didn't have a great pre-season because of managing it, like stuff like that. I don't think we had the continual back two in front of him. It kept changing. Mickey van der Ven came in for his very first game in the first game as well, which obviously adds to that nerves within the back line because it's new. Not to say he would play bad, but just saying it adds to it. Romero went off, so you had to. I can't remember who came on. Who was the defender that came on when Romero went off injured? Anyone remind? I can't recall. Sanchez, who obviously wasn't one of the club. So as soon as the back line and everything got sorted, you've seen Vicario go from strength to strength. He's commanding, he's vocal, he's comes out, like, obviously makes himself big. He's much better in the air, like coming for crosses than Hugo Lloris is or ever was. Lloris flapped at a lot of stuff. I think he's more commanding in that aspect. And yeah, for me, I think they got it spot on. And we'll talk about another person coming up throughout this team who I think, although we wanted defenders and that sorted, without naming names because I don't want to get off topic, they took their time, but they got the right person in. So as long as this continues, then I'm happy with Spurs moving forward. But as Vicario as a keeper, I got it wrong. I said he wouldn't be as good as I thought. I wanted Raya. again, I can admit when I get takes wrong. Vicario, I think, has been a great buy for Spurs. I think it was the keeper that we needed. So, yeah, been sensational for us in the games. Man United commanding. Could have got nervous at a hostile environment at the Emirates when we went 2 goals behind. No, he seemed assured. He seemed to be a calming influence as well. I just think he's a great fit for this Spurs team. Yeah, great keeper.
He's done well, hasn't he? I mean, Kate, he is a bit unorthodox. I mean, and what I mean by that is, I don't know how good he is with his feet at the moment. You know, like everyone now wants a goalkeeper that can play with their feet. Every single goalkeeper now. Man United have gone for it, and look what's happened. We've got a goalkeeper that isn't really that known for playing with his feet, but seems to be doing it better than a keeper like an Arna that is famed for it and not doing it very well. So, you know, he's got room to grow, certainly, but very positive opening 8 games for him.
Oh, I just think he's wonderful. I mean, Jim really was excited when we signed him, and I knew nothing about him, but he said to me, this guy's going to be brilliant. And I hate to say it, but
like Jim.
I know he was right on this occasion. It does happen occasionally.
Oh, yeah. Every 10 opinions, Jim gets one right, does he?
He's just been magnificent for me. I mean, even just little things like when Romero scored the own goal and he went straight up and put his arm around him and sort of told him it was all right. He's got that leadership quality as well, because he's not particularly old, you know. He's still quite young. I feel completely confident when he's in goal. You know, there's just no part of me that thinks, oh, you know, he's a bit dodgy here, a bit dodgy there. He's been a solid 9 out of 10 for me this season so far. I can't really think of anything he's done wrong, but I just don't like giving 10 out of 10s. So for me, he's been a solid 9, and I just hope that this good form continues, because he's
I was going to circle round for the scores at the end, but sure, now we know you're giving the 9. No, it's all right, Kate. No, I just ruined the segment. It's all right. It's up to you. You do what you got to do. Fine.
Typical Kate.
Fine.
Sorry.
I'll tell you what. When YouTube pay me for this show, I'll just send you a cut in the chat in the post, right? I'll just you know.
Sorry.
But you're right. Yeah, look, you are right. He's. I don't think he's put a foot wrong, and has just rounded it off for us. Big Vic. Is there anyone out there that's doubting him still? I haven't seen anything lately. I don't know if you have, but he's just settled in wonderfully well.
Yeah, it was literally the first couple of games, and like Ash alluded to, it was just nerves, isn't it? Anyone who comes to a new club in a new country, new language, obviously they're going to be a bit nervous, like, you know, when they have their first or second games. But, you know, he's really grown into that role of sort of being the leader of the back four, so to speak, in my opinion, because we always needed that commanding sort of goalkeeper, someone that's confident. Lloris was losing that over the last couple of seasons, and you can see just by the way celebrating, like when he saves a shot, saves a goal-bound ball, he just, you know, you can see him going like high fives and everything. I mean, you never got that with Lloris, did you? It just encourages your defenders, it encourages everyone around you. So for me, he's been solid. I think for £17 million, it's an absolute bargain. You know, we've got Italy's number 2. Donnarumma, for me, I've watched him this season so far. He hasn't been really convincing, if I'm being honest with you, but because of his name.
I've felt that about him for years. I feel like he's one of these keepers, Donnarumma, without going not too far off topic, that has brilliant games that everyone sees like in a Champions League. But when I watch him more often than not, I don't see anything that's special. Do you know what I mean? I don't see what everyone else sees in him.
Yeah, and it's just like he gets picked on the name, obviously. Like, you know, he's always going to get that number 1 spot behind in front of goal because of his name. But, you know, look, Big Vic, all he can do is do well for us. I don't care if he doesn't play for Italy, if I'm being honest with you. As long as he's doing well for us, then it's all good. But 17 million, like I said, that's a bargain. Okay. You look at how much United pay for Onana and how much we paid for Vicario. I know who I'd rather have.
I agree. Look, listen, let me quickly go around. I'll start with Kate. Shock us, Kate. What are you going to give Vicario out of 10?
Oh, hang on. This is a tough one. 9. Solid 9. Only I don't give 10s. But yeah, a very, very solid 9.
Didn't see that coming. By the way, everyone in the chat, smash the likes while you're there. Give us a score out of 9. Just put the number in. Out of 10
Out
for
of 10.
Vicario so far. Kate's gone for a 9. Ash, what we giving? What we giving? Big Venom. Vicario, what we going for?
I'm going to go for 8, man. Very impressed with him so far. Hasn't really put a foot wrong, as Kate said. I like his passion. Obviously, Italians, you're going to get that a lot. But yeah, he celebrates everything, to be fair. And I'm for it, man. And he's young as well. So it's even a bonus. He's got more years to mature into that position. And yeah, may long it continue.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, we've got an 8. We've got a 9. Alan, what are you and your mustard wall between you giving Vicario?
7? No, I'm joking. Wrong show. No, I'll go with an 8. I'd say an 8.
I think we all know what Alan was watching just before this went live. Was Strictly on tonight by any chance?
He's turned into Alan Goodman.
Alan Goodman, oh my God. No, I'd give an 8. I think the first game, like I said, nerves. And then I think, there's been the odds, like iffy moment with the ball at his feet, but nothing severe. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
8. Okay, so 2 8s and 9. Haas, what are you giving him?
Yeah, for me, it's got to be an 8 as well, because I think we need to judge him over a season still. It's only been 7-8 games so far, so I still want to judge him over the course of the season. And he's going to have bigger tests over the course of the season as well. If the pressure's on towards the end of the season, obviously, if he gets through that, could be looking at a 9 or 10. But for the time being, he's not put a foot wrong so far, so it's an 8. But it could go up to 9 or close to 10.
And
depending
negative.
on what kind of season we have. Hey, negative. It's just being realistic.
Yeah, but you're judging him on 8 games, right? And in 8 games, he ain't done a thing wrong, really. I'm being
Does
under.
that mean, Kate, you give everyone is going to get a 10 over?
Kate's trying to
Most of them have made mistakes.
Post Sava, Kate is pressurising me into increasing my score. Can you have a word?
Yeah.
Kate,
sorry.
I feel like I'm being
Just so
bullied.
you know, this is a non-bullying zone. No politics, no bullying, nothing. Please, can we keep it football? She's on a yellow. Kate's got a yellow card. She's got a yellow card. So 3 8s and 9. I'll give an 8 as well. I'll keep it steady. I think the same. You know me, guys. I always like to think. For me, what we almost need to see, and I know people are going to think this is negative. I feel we almost need to see a mistake from him at some point, so I can see what's his character like. How does he bounce back? And you will. No goalkeeper. I don't care. Alisson's the best keeper in the league for me. I've seen Alisson make mistakes. Goalkeepers will make mistakes. So I want to see how he bounces back. But so far, really pleasantly surprised. And he's quickly becoming a fan favourite. And I think the drop off from him to Fraser Forster is quite significant now. So we'll move. Go for it.
If he came from the Premier League, right? If we bought him from another club from the Premier League, I would have probably given him a 7. But I've given him an 8 based on the fact that he's come from a different league, different language and everything as well. So that's what's bumped it up for me on top of everything else.
So you're continuing this thing of being negative tonight. You've gone from an 8 to a 7. Is that what we're doing?
So what I'm doing is I'm deflecting the negative comments from you to me tonight. I
scored him the same as you, other than Kate. I scored the same. By the way, people, smash the like button. Come on, we should be on 150 likes by now. We're only on 97. Smash that button. I think most people in the chat, by the way, we've got 8.5s. We've got 9, 7, 9, 9.5. Daniela's the highest so far. 8.5, 8, 7, maybe 8. I think everyone's kind of in the same ballpark when it comes to this. I don't think there's any controversy here. And I feel there might be as we go further up the pitch. I'm just hedging a guess that I think there'll be some controversy. But good to know that Alan was watching the Strictly Come Dancing results before this. Clearly got his Strictly Come Dancing vibes on. Another player. Have you got 1 to 10 written out, or was that literally just the only one you've done?
No, honestly, literally, I just when we're sitting there saying about scores, go around individually. I was just like, I just know it from being 7, so that's what I know. That's the only one I've got. Everyone's 7.
The next player, the next player, proud to be a Geordie, of course, has to come in with a silly comment. Big up to you, proud to be a Geordie. And thank you for backing me up earlier in my Virgil van Dijk video. The next player I want to talk about is, we'll go through the back four, is Pedro Porro. I don't mind admitting, I sat there in the summer and I was like, this guy can't defend. It was a real concern for me. I was like, this guy cannot defend. What is going to happen here? Is Emerson Royal going to play? Is Porro going to play higher up the pitch? To everyone's delight, I think he has played above Emerson Royal, other than Barry, of course, who's in the chat. Another player that's just adapted so well to this position. And he even said himself, I'm going to start with you this time, Alan. He even said himself that he's never really been a right back. Throughout his whole career, he spent more time going forwards and he hasn't really mastered the art of defending. But another one who started the season well, hasn't he?
Yeah, started the season well. He was a player, going back to last season, that I wanted as soon as we were linked with him and we were getting him in. I was like, brilliant. I can see that he brings attacking-wise is brilliant for this team. Defense-wise, I thought he would be better than what he did when he came in. But under Range in his system, he's improved. He still has the odd occasion I see in Luton, although we're down to 10 men, getting caught into two different minds about whether to go or stay with the person at the back post. He still has those little moments where he looks a bit out of water, like he doesn't know quite what to do. But for the majority of it, he's calmer now. The best thing that's helped him most is a settled back line where he knows who his people are going to be beside him and who's going to be in front, because Kulu does drop back and help him out as well at times. So you see help there, and it's enabled him to grow as a player in that team. Obviously, Ange saying, you're my guy. After the first game for Royal, I was like, you're my guy. You're going to be the right back. And he's taken it on board. Again, like you say, I think you need to see him have a bad moment or a really catastrophic error and see how he bounces back. Because at the moment, everything's going well. You don't know how he's going to react in this. And people might go, but look at him last season. He was bad, and obviously he's come back. But at the moment, he's riding that wave of good performance. As soon as he has a bad performance, will he be able to come straight back to it? If he does, then obviously, it's a massive positive for Spurs. I wanted Porro. I think he's definitely progressed under Range in his defensive duties and obviously what he provides going forward. He's the type of player that will go on the outside or put a ball in behind people to create goals like we saw against Liverpool. Well, that was an own goal. He's got that in him, whereas I think Kulu needs to adapt. So he can do both ends at the moment. So I think he's been brilliant for Spurs this season. Well, I say the word brilliant lightly, but much better than what most people thought he'd be.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll come to you, Has, then to Ash, and then we'll do Kate last before she ruins it. Has, so I'm picking on Kate tonight, aren't I? Bad, naughty me. Has, Pedro Porro. He's had a good start to the season. I'll be honest, I didn't think he was very good versus Luton. But I think that's okay. I don't think every player is brilliant every game. But defensively, he's been a lot more solid than we thought. We knew what he was about going forward. But defensively, he's got us out of some real jams. And he's looking a proper player, isn't he?
Yeah, he looks good in that role at the moment. There's been a few iffy moments as well. But we've managed to get through it unscathed. But I was one of the ones who was saying from last season as well, we brought Porro in for Conte, and whoever comes in, how we're going to sort of utilize him, because he's practically a right winger. But credit to the big man himself, and he's come in, he's worked on his defending, he's got him into that position, and countless times this season he's produced fantastic displays. He's been in the right place at the right time. He's come in with some really good tackles. Everything's just increased 3 or 4 times from last season. But yeah, in terms of a score, I'll let Kate decide for me. So, Kate, what do you think I should give Porro?
I'm not too last because I'm not ruining the segment.
Ash. Pedro Porro. I think we've all seen how good he is going forward. I don't want to just get caught just on how good he's done defensively. For me, he looks the real deal when we do go forward. I feel like he's a proper modern day fullback now.
Yeah, I agree. And we showed it against Burnley when he put that through ball into Son, and Son had nothing to do really. He just needed to walk onto it and then one-on-one with the keeper and just put it away. You saw Porro's real quality, not just as a fullback, but how Angelo plays him, or sorry, Big Ange plays him more like a centre midfielder. So he kind of drops in that middle of the park, and then he kind of cuts in and he hits those balls. And the weight of pass that he has and the ability to find his teammates is exceptional. In terms of like crossing, he's still one of our best crossers. Now that Perisic is out, I think down that wing, he's especially deadly, especially when it comes to the edge of the box. He's able to fire those kind of diagonal balls over the top. It's just unfortunate that in the last couple of games, like we had like Richarlison's not able to finish off those sort of chances. And even when it comes to defending higher up the pitch, he's able to win those balls back and then start the counter-attack. And his actual link-up play between him, Sarr, and Kulu, I think that's working really well. If you look at Spurs' heat map overall, you see that we dominate the ball quite a bit on that right-hand side. And Porro is a massive reason for that. I think his contribution, I think his game intelligence, knowing when to come inside into midfield and when to drop back as a fullback on the right-hand side and help the centre-backs turn to back four, I think he's starting to get that understanding. And we do forget as well, the brother's only like 23, 23, 24. Yeah. He's young.
He looks older. I feel like he looks older.
He does.
Like, I don't know. When I watch him, I almost forget that we've only just signed him as well. And I give anyone a pass that joined last. I know he's the only one, but in January, because whoever joined in January joined an absolute shit show. Let's be brutally honest. Mason, Conte, just mess after mess. I can't even think of his. Who was his assistant? Conte? Stellini. That's it. God, yeah. Names that you try and like when they go in there, like with like the first people you loved. When you try and push their names to the back of your mind. Those sort of people. But yeah. You're bang on. You're bang on. And Kate, just before I get everyone's scores, round this off, Kate. I'm sure you'll give it a great round off for this segment. Pedro Porro.
The first people you loved. It must be hard for you to remember your own name, Sarr.
What was that, Alan? Was that perfect? Was that?
I've thrown myself completely. Porro, yeah, I've been really impressed. Anyone, he keeps Emerson Royale out the team, so straight away that's a massive bonus. He's been much better than we all expected. He's made a few mistakes, but he's new to the team. So yeah, I think generally he's impressed me massively. Great going forward. Just proved he can defend, but he's going to get better and better. So yeah, that's my little quirk about that.
Good. The less we hear from you right now in my bad books, the better. Start us off then, Kate. Start us off. By the way, Jimmy, just really, really quickly. Yeah, I did see the disallowed goal. It was another one of those. Has anyone seen it, by the way? Has anyone seen Morata's disallowed goal?
No.
It's just one of those ones where there's like 3 different phases of play and it's just an Anyway, Kate, give us a score. You gave it a generous 9 to Big Vic. What are we giving to Pedro?
7. Just because 7? I think he can improve. He makes a few too many mistakes, but a solid 7.
Okay, fair enough. Ash?
I was going to be different, man. I was going to go for 7, but I'm going to go for 8, just to be a little bit different. Bit more positive. Right. Yeah. He's improved a lot. Yeah. I think he did well to take out Emerson, because Emerson was holding that defensive role down, and people were thinking, we can't play Porro in a high line. It's going to be exposed. And he came in, and to be credit to him, against Manchester United, he played well against Rashford and co. So I just said, from then, he's been going up and up and up and up. I do agree, though, he has a tendency to switch off, doesn't check his mirrors enough, and that's why we get caught in the switch or the balls over the top, but has enough recovery pace to make up for some of those errors. But yeah, in corners, he's a bit short, so, height issue.
Yeah,
I
like that.
give him No, yeah, he needs to check his shoulder. Check the shoulder.
Yeah. No. Okay. So we've got a 7. We've got an 8. Alan and his mustard wall. Oh, what have you drawn for us this time, Alan? What are we giving him?
I've only drawn a 7, guys, but I'm not going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him an 8. I think I agree with Ash. I'm going to give him an 8. Porro.
An 8. Okay, 8, 7. Haas, where are you going with this one?
I'm going to give the same rating as the lady next to me, 7. It's a 7 from me. I just think 8 is a bit... he's made a couple of mistakes. You know, he's got that mistake in him still. He's not perfect. But going forward, and his defending has improved. So 7 from me. 7,
and so 2 7s and 8. I'm gonna go for a 7.5 and sit straight in the middle.
Do that.
Get off that fence.
That's a fence. It's not a competition, guys. No. On a serious note, I'm gonna give him a 7. The reason I wanted to give him an 8 is he's one of my favourite people in the world because it means I don't ever have to watch Emerson Royal start games of football. For that, I am so grateful to Pedro Porro because Emerson Royal was one of the worst footballers I think I've seen at Tottenham Hotspur. I know he's got heart. I know everyone loves him. Barry, your alarm's going off. Someone's talking badly about Royal. I give him a 7. I still think, listen, he's done really well. I think there's a lot to improve on. I want to see more of him going forward as well. For how good he is, I want to see him doing more against what he did against Liverpool. I want to see him getting right down that byline and whipping in crosses and getting some goals. Yeah, for me. By the way, Ash, you've got to leave, right? You've got to leave now or?
2 minutes.
In 2 minutes. Okay, Ash has got to leave in a minute. So, yeah, so I think everyone, again, is we're all there. There's no controversy there, I don't think. So 7s and 8s all around for big Pedro Porro. Ash, listen, what I'll do is I'll let you jump before I start the next player. Otherwise, I'll have to do an awkward stopping and starting and all that kind of thing. But listen, thanks for coming on, man. I always enjoy your company.
Have me on, man. Love people.
See you on Wednesday, Ash.
Wow.
Lovely end of the weekend.
Bye-bye.
Big comments. Peace.
Big up. By the way, after this, I have already set a redirect for anyone to go over to Jacob's channel. I'll be joining him at 10 p.m. UK time as well. Always nice to have a little chat with Jacob. He likes to throw Romero in my face. Let's move on to the next player. I think that leads on nicely, doesn't it? Cuti Romero. Let me start with you this time, Haas. Look, difficult year for him last year. Obviously, playing alongside Dyer, playing alongside Davis, playing alongside Sanchez and Tanganga, whoever he played alongside. It was a tough year for him. He was better the year before. He won the World Cup though, and everyone's talking about him being the best centre back in the world, i.e., Lionel Messi. He started the season well, right? He has started the season well.
Best defender in the world, mate. You know. And that's been approved by the best player in the world. So he's got to be the best defender in the world, right? Look, in a week where we've had that lot down the road going on about how many of their players are world class and the best in the world, you've got to put Romero up there as well. I still say that Romero's still got potential to be one of the best. Okay. He's not the best in the world or anything like that at the moment for me. But what he has done, he's improved these performances like vastly this season. And his temperament. For me, the biggest thing he's changed is his temperament. Last season, we saw he was so rash, just picking up cards, red cards. You know, he was going in ham on players, you know. But this season, he's reined it in. You know, he's starting to act like a proper defender. He's got a good defender by his side as well now. And I think he's improved a lot this season. I love Romero. He has got instances in him where he can make a couple of mistakes here and there, but that's to be expected because he's trying to keep that fiery Argentinian side in check. But he's doing well. QT's doing well. I can't complain. And long may it continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kate. He has done well. You know what? I mean, I take a lot of stick, Kate, for what I said about Romero last year, but I just called it as I saw it. He wasn't playing well. He was rash. He was making a lot of mistakes. Never said I wanted him sold, and I'm really happy that he's, you know, he is forming a partnership now with we'll talk about VDV in a minute, but he is forming that partnership, and it looks to me, I want to go slightly different with your take on this, Kate. It looks to me like he really is cherishing the assistant captain position as well, which I think is a good tactical move from Big Ange.
Massively. I mean, when he announced that he was going to be assistant captain, I was the one who sort of said, oh my God, you know, he's a bit of a psycho on the pitch. This is not a good move. But he's changed, just turned it round. His whole demeanour's changed. He seems to have really taken the responsibility seriously. I think he's been absolutely exceptional so far this season. I mean, when you know, you don't hold much on stats, it's done on eye test and all that, but when you look at his stats this year, they're fantastic. He has just been amazing. And I remember saying as well about Van der Ven that I thought he'd partner well with Cutie and he would calm him down, and that's exactly what's happened. And I think that the pairing together just worked perfectly. And it helps, of course, from a female perspective, that he's pretty darn good to look at. So he gets bonus points for that as well. But as far as footballing ability, I think he's been off the charts this season so far. That's shameless. Wow. That was shameless.
Really shameless. Before I come to Alan, big up to Bobby K, who's wishing us all well and has been a member for 11 months. So big up to you. By the way, just quickly before we get Alan's take, come on, smash that like button. We should be on 200, 175 likes. We're 119. Smash the like button. And big up to absolutely everybody in the chat. Alan, Cuti Romero, the best centre-half in the world, according to Lionel Messi. Whether we believe that or not is different, but good start to the season.
Fantastic start to the season. Again, I was going to bring it up, but you put it out to Kate, so I'll just follow up on what I was saying. I think the biggest thing that could have been done for him is to be part of the leadership team, because it's made him calm down. He now has to set an example. Whereas last season, he just was able to go out and do what he wanted and get as many, like, I don't know, ASBOs or be arrested for as many times he wanted to attack somebody on the pitch. Last season, it was just ridiculous. I've always said Romero's a great defender. I think he's got the potential to be like one of the best. But his temperament lets him down. This season, that's not the case. And I thought he was having a really good season. But obviously, I then saw another show that showed his stats for this season, and obviously last season, all that. And his stats are actually quite through the roof. It's ridiculous how good they are. And obviously, the way he's performing, the way he's come, because he's got a young new starter like in the Premier League beside him. And Mickey van der Ven's been able to come in beside him and just look like he's been there for years for Spurs. It looks like a partnership, and that's down just as much to Romero as it is Van der Ven as well, for the way he's dealt with new life in a new league. I think Romero's been far better than people are giving him credit for. I know people are giving him credit, but I think he's been even better than that. And yeah, I might shock people with my rating, but you're gonna have to accept it, because it's not just a 7.
Oh, all right. Well, just to give Alan a chance to scribble down a 10 on his pad there. By the way, Spain have just taken the lead against Norway, but VAR are looking at this. VAR are looking at this one as well. Another one where a striker was kind of a phase of. I give up. And by the way, Wales are beating Croatia 1-0, which puts Wales second in their group. They've overtaken Croatia with that 1-0 at the moment. So Wales looking good for qualifying out of their group. All right, let me start. Haas, give me a out of 10 for
10.
Romero.
10.
10?
No, I'm joking. It's not a 10. For me, all right. It's a difficult one. Based on how he's been, he's changed his attitude, his stats, like Alan alluded to just now as well, and everything else. I think he has been exceptional. That's why I'm going to give him a 9.
Okay, 9. Kate?
Yeah, he gets an absolutely solid 9 for me, because he could get a 10.
Like that? Why are you saying it like that?
I was just thinking about how handsome he is. I can't help it. I think he's big.
from me.
I did consider adding an extra point on just for the fact that he's bloody gorgeous, but I'm being sensible and non-fangirly, and I'm going to say a 9 purely for his footballing ability. Honest.
9. Okay, so you said 9 as well?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Alan?
Yes, I thought, by the way, people were talking, they were going to go for an 8. I was going for a 9 all day long. So, yeah, I'll stick with a 9. I want to hear Sava's rating.
I'm going to give it to you, aren't I? I'm not going to not. Listen, I think Romero has started the season well. I know that everyone now wants to chuck a million stats at players. For me, what I see him and I can't just do him with this. I'm going to say the same thing for Van der Ven. I still think between them, they give strikers way too much space in the penalty area, which is a huge concern of mine. I think we've rode our luck at times. I'm going to give him an 8.5. I think he's been good. Still think there's a lot to learn there. And I don't think he's been the best of our 2 centre halves. But I think an 8.5. I think he's been good, but there's definitely more to come from him if he continues the way he has been. I was worried, but obviously you all know the game I was worried was against Arsenal when he did start to go a bit rash again in that first half and started to run the ball into midfield and lose it easily. But second half, he showed what he's all about. So for me, 8.5 for Romero. You thought I was going to give him like a 6 or a 7, didn't you, Alan?
No, I thought you were going to agree with us with 9, but you went 8. You played it sense. No, you played it. You went to the easy route. Boo, boo, Sava.
I didn't listen. For me to give a player a 9, I'm wanting a lot. I'm wanting a lot to give a player a 9, and I'm wanting the world to give a player a 10. That's just me. I've got high standards. All right, I've got high standards. So again, everyone there is within 0.51 of each other. So again, nothing really controversial. There will be. Let's move across nicely to Mickey van der Ven. I'll start with you, Alan. They're still checking this goal, by the way, in Spain.
No way.
This is how long ago did I say that they're checking this goal?
Is it Morata again? Is it?
No, this one's Gavi. Gavi. Just another one where the ball was pinballing about, and I think he's given it. I think he's given the goal. Spain are 1-0 up at last. He's given it. Van der Ven, 22 years of age. Very mature, Alan. Very, very mature for his age. Spoke really well in the summer when I saw him. When I saw him play last year for Wolfsburg, I always thought this guy he's got something quick. And I think the best thing about it is all summer, I think most fans were talking about wanting Tapsoba over this guy. I saw videos from people talking about why we have to get Tapsoba instead of this guy. I think he's shut a lot of people up, hasn't he?
I'm trying to think. Was I one of them? No, I don't think I was.
I don't think so.
Thank God for that. No, look. Again, it was an annoying thing in the summer, the time it was taken to get the centre back in, but it was the right choice. And again, he's come into a new league, young. He's got what has been previously last season, Romero, who was a bull in a china shop, literally beside him. But he's been able to come in. He's looked calm. He's looked professional. He's been consistently in his own game, like not just taking care of himself, but obviously with the back line. The amount of times I've seen the back line literally fire themselves up when they're doing like clearing the ball behind them, like showing that togetherness, that teamwork. Romero and Van der Ven don't just look like they've been thrown together since the first game. They look like they've played together for a couple of seasons, which goes to show how they're both playing within themselves and as a back in the back line and also with the keeper. Again, Van der Ven, literally the pace he has is ridiculous. He backs himself. When he's having to chase back, he backs himself above everyone. He blew Gakpo out of the water for pace, and he's no slouch. So he's got confidence in himself there. That means one-on-one defending. He's got confidence in himself there that he can deal with it. In the Premier League, which means to be the fastest, hardest league in the world, he's taken to it like a duck to water. For me, the right defender came in by a clear mile over Tapsoba. Not that I wouldn't have taken Tapsoba as well, but I just think that back line and everything they're doing at the moment is just spot on. And Van der Ven's got a huge part to play that. He's not just there because he's new and learning the ropes as he goes. He's come up with crucial blocks, crucial tackles, crucial bits of play as well. And not just that, his ball carrying ability going forward is drawing teams out, like against Luton. In the first half, he was carrying the ball forward, drawing people out to create space for Maddison and Udogie on the left-hand side. So he's doing everything that is being asked of him and more. I think and this is when people say Maddison's player of the season, I throw his name in the hat as well and go, well, like signing of the season. I'm like, got a chance to be signing the season, not just for Spurs, but signing the season, because the amount he was bought for, and let's be honest, although he's been looked after by Liverpool, most of people were going, no, you don't want him. You want this type of player, or you want this type of player. But like a lot of people weren't looking at him. And again, goes to show that when we do buy right, we buy quality. So I'm happy with him at Spurs. I haven't got anything bad to say about him.
Yeah. I mean, Kate, I think this is another one that you fancy, isn't it? Mickey van der Ven. I think you think he's quite cute as well. But talk to me about his footballing ability. 22. He looks so composed. He looks like he's been there for years, like Alan said. Looks so composed.
Yeah, I mean, he's young enough to be my son, so I'm not going to say anything about that.
Oh, never.
But look at that look. This ain't a plus, eh?
I was going for grandson, but it's.
You're not father of my age. Be careful, Sarr.
Wow.
I had to get you back. I had to get one back.
I think he has been a Rolls Royce since he's come in. He just looks so composed. He's so fast. He doesn't do anything rash. He can get the ball off players without sliding in. He's just been a revelation, really. I was one of the people that wanted him, but I wanted Tapsoba as well, and I was really pushing for Tapsoba for his strength. I was calling for both of them massively, but when I sort of looked at the stats for Van der Ven and you see how fast he is, you don't really see it until you watch him play. When he goes, he just flies, and I just think he has been absolutely magnificent since he's come in. And like Alan says, they look like they've been playing together for years and years. And a lot of people compare him to Vertonghen. I see Toby and Vertonghen in him. I see bits of both of their game. So yeah, for me, he's just been brilliant. I'm so pleased that he's at Spurs finally to have a good partnership at the back.
He's
absolutely great.
Sorry, I just want to say, for me, I agree with Kate. He's got the ball carrying, like coming forward of Vertonghen, but he's got the composure of an Alderweireld.
Yeah,
both in him, and literally that's what I'm saying. He's just been such an amazing buy for Spurs. He really has.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And probably a good time to come over to my Turkish friend Has, as Turkey have just taken the lead against Latvia.
Behind you.
So
yes.
So they're top. They were top, but they're now further ahead of top. Poland have equalised against Moldova as well to keep their Euro hopes alive. Norway, by the way, at the moment, they are 5 points behind Scotland, who have a game in hand on them. Looking like Haaland and Odegaard, right? Haaland and Odegaard. Looks like they won't be going to the Euros at this moment either. Yeah, listen, just quickly before I get your take, Has. Angus, I completely agree with you. This is my concern, but we'll talk about this a bit later. My concern with players like Van der Ven and Romero is that we could lose them to these sort of clubs. But we won't talk about that now. Let's not go negative. Has, by the way, Wales are 2-0 up. Wales are 2-0 up. Harry Wilson has got both goals. So Wales are now firmly above Croatia, who are 2-0 down in their game. 2-0 down right now to Wales. To Wales. So Wales at the moment and Turkey look like they're going out of Group D. Has, Van der Ven, talk to me.
Oh, Super Mickey. It's about time we had a Mickey in the team. Last one was Mickey Hazard, wasn't it? What can I say about Mickey van der Ven? I think I agree with Kate and Alan in that he has got the attributes of both Vertonghen and Alderweireld. For someone so young who's come into a really competitive league in the Premier League, I think he's taken to it like duck to water. Amount of times he's saved us, making those, runs back, the tackles he's put in. I just think he's shown maturity beyond his years, and the money that we've paid for him, I think, is in today's market is peanuts. Once again, you've got to say the recruitment for Van der Ven has been spot on. Tapsoba, everyone was on the back tap sober at the time. We should get him. We should get him. He's older. He's more mature. This, that, and the other. Look, obviously these guys have done their homework on Van de Ven, and for me, he's the reason, as well as Ange as well. But I think he's more so the reason why we're now seeing a different Romero. You know, he knows that he's got a competent defender by his side, someone that's just as good as him. And that, you know, if you know that your defensive partner's got your back, yeah, I mean, he's just it, right? VDV. And I can see him being captain of Holland one day, because I think
I think last night he made his international debut, didn't he?
Yeah,
if I'm right, he came on and made his debut.
They lost, but it wasn't his fault. He came on after they were losing anyway. So, I just think, you know, Van Dijk's coming towards the end of his career. VDV's captain of the under-21s, or was. So I think it's going to be a natural progression. But what a player. I absolutely love him. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, top player. Let me start then. Alan, give me a score out of 10 for Mickey Van de Ven.
Same as Romero, 9.
Okay. All right. Kate?
Yeah, I'm going to go 9 as well. I'm obviously basing it on 8 games only, because that's all we've got. But I think the fact he's come to a new league, the way he's partnered up with Romero, he's a strong 9 for me.
Okay, 9. Hass, we calling the police?
Woo, woo, woo. Look, if Romero's getting a 9, VDV surely has to get a 9. It's a 9 from me, 100% all day of the week.
My answer is exactly the same as Romero. I'll give it an 8.5. I think they've both been good. I think if we want to start giving both our centre-halves a 9, I would expect them to have conceded the least amount of goals in the league. They haven't. I think we rode our luck massively against Liverpool. Listen, I'm just trying to keep it real. We rode our luck massively against Liverpool and Luton. We gave them chance after chance after chance. For me, those sort of things need to be tightened up. They will be. It's only 8 games. But I can't start whacking out 9s yet when 3 or 4 teams have had a better defence than us. And I'm going to give it an 8.5. And for me, I'm going to call it.
God.
Mickey Van de Ven is going to be our best centre-half.
He's making his point, right? With all these points.
Yeah.
You are? What did you say?
You're making your point tonight with all these points.
All these points. Splinters in the arse is what you got there.
No, listen,
no 0.5s.
Next one's
if you're going to give everyone a 9, I want clean sheets. Yeah, I'd get clean sheets all over.
We'll stop working one out then.
Well,
man.
Wow.
If it's 9s all over the place, and I said stop whacking the 9s out all over the place. That's all
Jesus. We know what you meant. Sean, honestly, mate, yeah. Okay. So, look, for me, 8.5. I don't think either of them have been the best in the league so far. So, I'm going to give them 8.5. I do think that Mickey Van de Ven, though, will be the better of the two. I think he's just naturally better, naturally gifted. He's got that pace on his side as well. Elegant on the ball. Looks more comfortable for me on the ball than Romero. But, look, it's all about partnerships. And they've started well. So, everyone knows my worry. I think it's the same worry as everyone else is that one of them, if they do pick up an injury, that's the worry right there. I don't need to go too deep into that. And we'll try and rattle through the next ones a little bit quicker so that we can be finished by 10. It's only 9:10, but so we can be finished by 10. And Norway, by the way, giving it a right good go here against Spain. They need a goal desperately. Udogie. We bought him last year. I think people sometimes forget that. We bought him last year. He stayed on loan at Udinese. He's come in and just for me, just shown levels above the likes of Davis, Sessegnon, whoever we've had in the last whatever years at left back. Anyone can kick off. Udogie.
Yeah, he's been great. He's been brilliant. Yet so young, and yet looks again such a mature performances from him, so quick, so agile. He's just he looks a great little player, and what concerns me is hanging on to him, because I would imagine these massive Real Madrids have already been alerted to just how good this guy's looking. So yeah, he's been immense since he's come in for me.
Yeah, I mean, let me go to you, Haz, on this. I mean, look, again, this is the we'll go into this a little bit later. We'll rattle through the players, then we'll go into this a bit later. So just have it in the back of your minds. This is always the worry, all the while you're not winning things, is that when you do have top players or when they become top players, those top players are wanted by the big clubs. But we'll talk about that a bit later. He's been really good, hasn't he, down that left-hand side? He looks way older than 20 in terms of maturity.
Yeah, I mean, how much was that Udogie in the window? 21 million. That's how much. What a steal.
Sorry. Don't think that we didn't see what you just did there. That was absolutely shocking.
Hold on a minute. It's not seeing, it's hearing. Get it right.
Absolutely shocking.
It was the finger point as well. The finger point as well. We saw that. We saw it.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. How much was that doggy in the window? Go on, mate. Carry on.
Yeah, no. I had to get it out of my system, right? Okay, look. Udogie, I think he's been fantastic. Again, another young one. 21 years of age, I believe. He's coming to a superior league again, and he's just taken to it like duck to water. I think he's strong, he's quick, he's powerful, and he's everything that we needed in a left back. After years of alternating between the likes of Sessegnon, Reguilon, all these deadbeat players, now we've got a proper left back who, you know, is just amazing. So for me, I think he's been great.
Okay, nice and simple. Alan?
For me, I think he's a sensational player. I've liked him since he came in. When we bought him, I was like, I don't know a clue about him. So watching him in it, and I was like, wow, if he can perform in a Premier League, we've got an absolute steal on our hand. It was 15 million at the time. That can go up to 21 with add-ons. Don't know if that's probably going to happen now.
Yeah.
He's coming to this team and he can defend. Now, look, he's had shaky periods against Saka, but Saka's considered one of the best right wingers in the league. But he was booked early, and by the end of that game in the North London derby, his first North London derby, they were having to attack down the other side because Udogie sorted himself out. That's what you need. Obviously, the game against Liverpool, it's a bit of a weird game, but Salah didn't destroy him like everyone thought. I thought against Liverpool wasn't his best game, but it wasn't a really bad game. I think he's shown maturity defending. He's shown going forward, even in the middle when he inverts like Porro. He's calm, his confidence to take the ball on, come inside and go past people as well. Again, the right business being done by Spurs, and I'm just like saying, what the hell is going on with this club? Because they're getting business done right and buying great young players, and it seems to fit this manager as well as what they bought him for originally. Yeah, absolutely sensational. I think although he weren't bought this summer, because he's new for us this season, I think you could class him as one of the steals, like signings of the season. If you get what I mean, it's not that we bought him per season. Again, sensational bit of business and the right player for Spurs. And yeah, I don't ever want to see Sessegnon, Davies, or anyone else attempt to be in that left back position as long as Udogie's fit. Keep him there at all costs.
Yeah, do you know what it screams to me is all the people that for years have hoped that Sessegnon was going to turn into a good player and hoped that he could grow and build. Now you see Udogie in there, you go night and day, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like just in terms of ability, strength, just everything. So
everything that Sessegnon isn't. Everything.
You're right. Just quickly, Sean, mate, listen, please, I think you've put the same comment in about 7 or 8 times now. I get it. We're going to talk about players moving away in a bit, and we'll address this, but just relax on that point, my friend. Has, give me a score.
Udogie, easy 8 for me. Again, the reason for that, just really quickly, I'll talk garage speeds. Come from a different league, and he's performed exceptionally well, trying to bed in this, that, and the other. And he's just done really well. Yeah.
Alan?
I'm not going to be a Sarr and put a point in there. I'm going to go one way or another. I'm not going to sit on the fence here. As much as I want to give him a 9, I think he's not been at the same level as Romero and Van der Ven, so I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to be consistent, although, I think he's a sensational youngster. I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, what do you mean? You know, 8.5 just means you think they're better than an 8. I don't think you're sitting on a fence. It's like
you're like I don't really want to go with chest. He's a 9, so I'll go for a safe 8.5 as well. You can do both ways. You know you can.
I love that. I love that. Kate, what are you giving Udogie?
Yeah, I'm going to give him an 8 as well because I just think he's going to get better and better. He's so young. But yeah, solid 8 for him, I think.
I think everyone said 8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, clean sweep for me. I like him. Listen, there's mistakes in there. I would thoroughly expect there to be mistakes in there in his first 8 games in this country at 20 years of age. I think he's reacted brilliantly, though, to those games where he has started slowly. I thought he was really nervous against Arsenal, really nervous against Man United in the first half as well, giving away yellow cards and silly fouls, and he responded. He responded brilliantly. Really excited to see what he can do moving forward. And again, it's another one where if he gets injured, the drop off to whoever else goes out there is just huge. And these are the worries. Let's move on. By the way, keep smashing the like button, people. We've got 144 likes. We should be getting that to nearer 200. And keep giving us your scores in the chat. There hasn't been any further goals apart from Romania, who have now got 4 against Andorra. Other than that, all the games are still the same as they were before. Papa Sarr, for me, this is one where I look at and I do think I won't give my opinion of it on him as a player just yet, but I do look at it and think, you know, Antonio Conte picked everyone above this guy. This guy was like the bottom of the run for him. He picked everyone in centre mid above this guy. Looking a little bit silly now. Kate, Papa Sarr.
Yeah, again, he's only young. I just think with Sarr, he goes about his business and just does what he needs to do. I don't always notice what he does until I watch the game for the second time. And then you see all the little things he does and the passes he makes. I just think he's a great little player. He's when you think all these players that Conte ignored, it's just shocking, really, absolutely shocking. But yeah, he's been good for me. Like I say, he doesn't ever do anything, I don't think, out of like that makes me go wow. But he just goes about his business and is effective at what he does. So yes, a steady Eddie.
Steady Eddie. Steady Eddie. Okay, fair enough. Haas, Papa Sarr. Some might say that he's fortunate that he's in the team, obviously, because Bentancur's out, but he has taken the spots of Skip and Højbjerg. And, you know, again, he's another one who's only 20 years of age. What are your feelings on him?
Again, for someone who's so young, he's come into that team expecting to fill, to fill a big void in that midfield. At 20 years old, he's showing dynamism. He's showing maturity as well. And he's shown that he can, get forward and join in with the attack as well. He's already got a goal for us from midfield. I think, did he get a couple of goals? Was it 1 or 2 goals? I think it might have been 2. But he pops up in the right spots. And for me, I think his approach to the game over Højbjerg is much better. He's more direct. He doesn't go side to side. He's always looking to play the ball forward. So for me, I think he's had a fantastic start to his Tottenham career. I know he was with us last season, but he's properly started this season, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. Alan?
Agree with this comment from Bobby K. He's got an engine in him. Literally, he just doesn't stop. And this is what you want. When you needed a 2-man midfield last season, when we had that, you needed a player like Sarr that could be everywhere at once. And the engine he's got, he could just keep running. He's always getting back. He's not. You saw these players and that. How Conte neglected a player like this, and it came on the back of the AC Milan game, where he was absolutely really good in it, and I just didn't understand it at the time. I was thinking to myself, we're not seeing something, but he's come into this team again, a young player, new team, new way of playing football, and he's just he's made mistakes. He carries the ball for too long sometimes. Sometimes his passing isn't the best and all that. He's only young. He will learn as he's going. But with a player of this potential, you need to give him enough game time to be able to progress and get the potential out of him. If you just stick him on the bench or neglect him for most of the season, they're not going to progress as much off the pitch as they are on it. So again, engine, gets around the pitch, great breaking up play. He's ball carrying, and I remember if Højbjerg had looked up, if Ellie's watching Højbjerg, sorry about that. If Højbjerg looked up at the end of the Luton game, like he passed it to, I think, Kulusevski on the right. But if he'd have looked, Sarr was open, like literally bombing forward, even at late with 10 men. He just doesn't stop running. He was in. The boy has got class, like potential future class written all over him. He's got to be used in the correct way. And yeah, again, it doesn't matter that Bentancur's out injured. He's come in, whereas others haven't taken their chance, like Skip and Højbjerg. He has. And I think Bentancur will come back just because of the player is, if he doesn't carry any injury and he's fine, he'll go back in. But Sarr's easily number one replacement now, like to come off the bench. And if Bentancur isn't the same player, you've got a player in there that's good enough to progress and learn under range to develop, like to be the person you need to fit that mold and be in that position in the first place. So again, great start to the season for the lads, and again, incompetence from a previous manager.
So I think that's everyone's given their opinion, right? Let's get the scores on the doors. I'll start with you, Alan. What are we giving Papa Sarr out of 10?
This is the one I want to put a 0.5 in, but I've given you so much.
I'm putting a 0.5 in, so
I'm gonna go. Okay, what were you getting? Now we're going. 7. 7. I was going to ask her what she's going. 7. Yeah. 7.
All right, 7. Kate.
Can I just say, Alan's talk about Sarr has pretty much ended the show, isn't it? It went on for about half hour. I'm going.
She's on fire tonight.
I'm going 7.5. I think 7's a little bit stingy.
Who is she?
Who is she? Has 7, 7.5. What are you going?
Alan, put up your board.
Oh, I've ripped it up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah, it's a 7 from me. Easy 7. There you go. Thanks, Alan.
Yeah. I do you know what? I'm gonna give a 7 as well. I'm tempted to go 7.5, but I'm gonna go 7. I like Sarr. I think he's got a really good engine on him. I think he's an athlete. Covers every blade of grass, that old saying. For me, I find him sloppy on the ball, which isn't a negative. I think it's something that he can grow. I think his passing is very wayward. But I think some of the earlier performances in the season were a lot better than what we've seen in the last 3 or 4 games. But he's 20 and he's playing a lot of football, and he's filling in really well. I do think that once Bentancur's fit and up to speed, I think we'll see Bentancur be that third player in there.
Are you saying he's an updated and better version of Sissoko?
I mean, I'm an updated, better version of Sissoko. I think what Papa Sarr does, though, for me, again, like the analysis I just gave of Udogie and Sessegnon, again, when all the fans for a couple of years now have been talking about Ollie Skip and blah, 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 watch Sarr, watch Skip, right? You see the levels. You see the levels of when people are praising these players like Højbjerg, like Skip, like Sissoko, like Sessegnon. We've done it for years. Dyer, Sanchez, Lamela. You keep going. You're now seeing, actually, they weren't that good, were they? Let's move into, by the way, Wales have conceded. Wales 2, Croatia 1. So they're still above them, but Croatia are starting to dominate now. And Norway are trying to go forward, but they just don't quite have the...
Have they touched the ball?
Huh?
Have they touched the ball? Norway?
Yeah, Norway are getting the ball. They're breaking, but they're struggling to get it through to Haaland. There's not really that quality to play him in. But
by the way, can I just say, if anyone does anything tonight, make sure you watch Turkey's goal tonight. Absolutely world class. Honestly, make sure you watch it. It's amazing.
There you go. You've been told what to do. And keep smashing the like button. Let's get that to 200. We're on 156 at the moment. Let's get that to 200. By the way, Jimmy has said Sarr is a better player than Gallagher in every aspect. Spending 50. I don't agree, if I'm brutally honest. I don't agree. Not in every aspect. I think Gallagher's more a goal threat. I think Gallagher's got a very good engine as well. I think Gallagher's passing is probably the same as Papa Sarr's.
Carries that team as well. He carries Chelsea as well. He carries that team as well.
Yeah, I disagree with this. By the way, the problem is, I think that where people get confused is, we talked about this the other day, you've got to have a squad. We're still talking as though you can only have an 11, and you've got to have squad players. So whether it's a Gallagher or a Calvin Phillips, we're going to need some British players at some point, because our homegrown is very, very bad. Very, very bad. Let's move into another player that was here last year. Bless me. Sorry.
I've never heard of him. Who's head?
Yeah, bless you. Yeah, Conte didn't want to play him, Alan. Conte didn't want to play him. But that fits nicely for Yves Bissouma. Listen, injured for a bit, but even before that, I think a lot of Spurs fans were expecting Yves Bissouma, when he was signed, to go straight into that 11 and be the main man. I think when you looked at our midfield, we were all saying, this guy goes in, put him inside along Bentancur, let them build a partnership, we're okay. Antonio Conte was awful with his management of Bissouma, the style he had in playing. And now we've got just a completely different player, minus the blip against Luton. Kate, Yves Bissouma.
Oh, I love him. I just think he's just magnificent. He's the boss. Everything good goes through him. He controls the game from midfield. He pulls all the strings. He's strong. He's hard to get the ball from. And when he does lose the ball, which isn't that often, he always wins it back more often than not. He made that stupid mistake to get himself sent off against Luton. But apart from that, I think he's been just absolutely magnificent this season. Yeah. I'm not going to say anymore because I might get told I'm taking too long, Alan.
With that in mind, let's go to Alan. Everyone start your stopwatch now.
He's been good. He's been good. I don't want to say anything more. Kate might come for me. He's been good. Next.
Alan, go for it. Don't worry about that one above you. Don't worry about Grandma. You go for it.
Wow.
Pain.
Just got called Nanny Kate.
By the way, just quickly, Turkey are 2-0 up against Latvia. Turkey are 2-0 up against Latvia. I'll let you know the goal scorer as soon as Alan's done his bit. I don't know it yet. I'll let you know soon.
I'll try and be quicker, Kate. Sorry about that. Again, another player that used incorrectly by the previous manager. Goes to show this is a player we were getting or trying to buy last season in a free. He's absolutely been sensational for Spurs. He really has. At times, his ball carrying reminds me of Dembele, the way he can just goes past people and carry the ball out the pitch, no problems. Silly, obviously, in the last game to get himself sent off for diving. But apart from that, everything else he's done for this team has been positive, and he's just been a revelation in that midfield. Mm-hmm. Is that okay, Kate?
Yeah. And the Turkey goal was scored by ex-Everton and Crystal Palace striker Cenk Tosun. Cenk Tosun scored the goal. And a Norway player he literally had to play it 10 yards into Haaland's pass, and there's just no quality there. Big Yves Bissouma in midfield.
Yeah, Yves Bissouma, I'm going to keep it short and simple. Missed out huge chunk of last season. Conte didn't prefer him. This season, he's come out and he's shown us exactly why we brought him to Tottenham Hotspur. I think he's amazing. Bissouma, I think there's a lot more to come from him still. I think he started the season really well, apart from that sending off, which was really stupid. But for me, absolutely class.
Okay, I'll start with you then, Haas. Give me a score out of 10.
Look, I think I'm going to give him an 8. It would have been a bit higher if he didn't get sent off. He had a brain fart. Absolutely stupid of him to get sent off. So I think 8. I think he can still improve, but he's had a fantastic season start to the season so far.
Okay, 8 for Haas. Alan?
Sorry, my face got stuck like that because Has shocked me, but then obviously there was a bit of a breeze and it got stuck for a bit, so it's fine. No, for me, Bissouma, even with the red card, it's a 9 all day long, even with the red card.
9 for Alan and the Mustard Wall. Oh, wonderful clearance off the line. Wonderful clearance off the line by Norway. Kate, Bissouma.
Yeah, he gets a 9 from me as well. I think he's been one of the best players in the league so far this season, and I'm going to go out on the limb and say that. I think he's been magnificent. Apart from that stupid mistake, he might have even got a 9.5 from me, but he's getting a solid 9.
You know what? It's the first time tonight I'm going to agree with Kate up there. I think he's a 9. Sometimes there's players that come into a team and completely transform the way you play, and the difference again, I watch him, and then you watch who's probably been in that role in the recent years, Højbjerg, and it's just, again, chalk and cheese. You got one bloke that is just so comfortable on the ball, great engine. It's that turn when he's in his own half. It's that turn away from the player closing him down, and then that drive, good footwork. I think he's been sensational. Let himself down with a red card, but I'm not going to knock points off for a red card. 9 for me.
Weak.
All right, an 8.5, and then you'll tell me I'm sitting on the fence.
No,
so I think for me, I just think he's been everything we have lacked in central midfield since Moussa Dembele. I think since Moussa Dembele, our midfield has been full of Ndombeles, Lo Celsos, Winks, Sissoko's, Højbjergs. It's been really skip. It's been painful. So this guy's been different gravy. And then to complete the midfield trio, and I just realised I did put a poll out and did spell James Maddison's name wrong. I think I put Maddison. I've made him foreign, which is good. Kate, let's start with you. James Maddison. Leicester fans were telling us he doesn't work hard, that he gives the ball away a lot, that we'll see what he's like. But I'll let you tell me. James Maddison, what we're going with? Turkey are 3-0 up. What we're going with, Kate?
I just think he's been fantastic. He's changed our whole team as well. Another one who's come in and changed everything. It's like we've been crying out for this guy since Eriksen left. It's just brilliant. I always thought he was a bit of a cocky guy and had a bit of a bad attitude, but I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I think he's passionate. He's obviously a bit of a laugh. You can see the players all love him. He's taken the vice captaincy on straight away, and he's just been brilliant. He's a complete team changer for us, and I literally can't praise him highly enough. Everything good and creative seems to come from him, and he's just wonderful. And I hope he never gets injured ever.
Okay, Kate's wrapping up Maddison in bubble wrap. Alan, by the way, the third goal for Turkey was, I believe it's the young winger that everyone's talking about, Postecoglou. So 3-0 Turkey. Alan, James Maddison.
Kate can wrap him up in bubble wrap, and I'll get the shrink wrap and make sure it's tight to him so that he can't get injured, because I agree. Who knew? Spurs have a habit of doing this. We get people way too late to, from the people previously. So who knew Eriksen left? You need another creative midfielder. You get Maddison, Bissouma to Dembele, Kyle Walker to Kyle Walker-Peters. No, I'm taking the piss. But no, you know what I mean? It always takes so long to cover it. And this is exactly another case in point. Maddison, I agree at times he does give the ball away. But when you're trying to create play, when you're trying to create play and create openings and all that, you're going to do that. No one's perfect and gets every ball right. But who would have thought that, and I saw this a lot in my chat, who was the one that said it? Was it Mr. Martin Clark, the one that's in here, or David Clark, the one that's always
David Clark.
Apparently, Spurs couldn't share the goals around because Kane was going, we were doomed, this and the other. And I said, no, we'll share the goals around. Maddison's come in, has been able to unlock the team to be able to pass wherever he wants. He doesn't have to go through one person. And we're 8 games in, I think, with, what is it? Am I right? 18 or 19 goals? We're well ahead of getting over the 60-odd goals we got last season without Harry Kane. So, again, a crucial part to this team, a right buy for Spurs, and to get Winks going the other way for 10 million, making it net 30, just goes to show, again, good business by Spurs. Sensational.
Absolutely. Haas, what we going with, my man? Not score. Talk to me about Maddison. Not the score yet.
Well, sorry, I did it hard to concentrate and talk at the moment.
I'm going to share it with everyone. Don't worry. I'm going to share it.
I'm agreeing with everything that Kate and Alan have said. I think Maddison's been superb. I think Leicester fans were lying to us, to be honest, when they were saying that he was lazy, this, that, and the other, because I've seen anything but. This man has been playing as a deep line playmaker. He's been tracking back. He's been putting tackles in. He's been getting forward. He's just been fantastic for us. And, you know, one thing that I was scared of when Harry Kane left was, you know, who's going to create, what we're going to do. And this guy has just come in and just, I mean, he's got like 5 or 6 assists already. It's just ridiculous. And a couple of excellent goals. So, yeah, I think Maddison is just one of those players that I compare him to Gaza, like in terms of his attitude. And no, I'm not saying it ability-wise. Ability-wise.
You've gone with a Gaza.
But Gaza in terms of his
personality.
Like, his personality, yeah, because it's just cheeky chappy in a more calm fashion, I might add. Gaza was a bit more wild, but you know, he's this cheeky chappy that's come in, he's happy, wants to play for us. What a player. What a player. Can't rate him highly enough.
All right. So Maddison, by the way, 8 minutes injury time here in Norway. I'm not in Norway, but the game I'm watching is Norway. James Maddison, Alan and his mustard wall. You've been negotiating. What score are you giving James Maddison?
9.
A 9?
Yep.
Okay. Hass?
What's that look for?
I don't know. You said it like really like in a kind of somber state. It was like, oh, 9. It was like,
He said it like
hard.
I was
So-
just
9, sir.
And just so you know, Hass, Turkey are 4-0 up against Latvia.
I was
Turkey
just
are
romping
4-0
it
up.
in the Euros next season, baby.
They've got some good
yeah.
players. Go on,
Fantastic.
go on, Hass.
I'm gonna do a Sava. I'm gonna say a 9.5. I'm gonna sit on the fence with this.
It's not sitting on the fence. It's just a higher number than
Sorry,
one,
but if you put
and
a
a
point,
lower number than another.
it's sitting on the fence. So 9.5.
No,
It is.
it's not sitting on the fence. It's you saying he's better than an 8. So he's better than a 9, but he's not quite a 10. 9.5. All right.
Haz doesn't want to go on the limb and say that Maddison's a 10 and being perfect because people will come for him when he does something wrong. That's why. So we're sitting on the fence just like you, Sarr. It's all right.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't want love on my face.
God. Are all the fences in your garden painted the same colour as your wall?
No.
Have you spray painted yourself into like this mustard world?
Just like obviously I didn't know Haz. The person whose place this was that I thought he was from. He's left the country to go back to live in Turkey. So these are his colours, all like Mediterranean type colours, like yellows and reds and stuff like that.
Did you buy the house?
Yeah.
You know you're allowed to paint over walls.
Sava, this wall's going, so there's no reason to paint it. This is going, so that's why it hasn't been painted.
You don't have to justify to me, mate. You do what you got to do. If you like mustard, you like mustard.
The people in my chat know this because they love the mustard wall and they know that I'm getting a Coleman's deal anytime now. So Coleman's, if you're watching, I'm here for you. I'm here for you.
Coleman's. Kate, James Maddison, you want to wrap him up in bubble wrap, but what are you going to give him out of 10?
I'm giving him a 9.5, same as nobody's perfect, but he's as near to perfect as he can be. He's made everything different in our squad, and I just think he's wonderful. So yeah, a big fat 9.5 from me.
We're all on that Sava train.
Yeah.
Talking about sitting on a fence.
I'm gonna listen. Do you know what? For me, James Maddison's the best footballer at the club by a country mile. For me, he's got everything: playmaking ability, assists, set piece, corners, free kicks, goals, assists, passing, good engine, right foot, left foot, skill. He's the best player at the club by a mile. I think our league position is going to coincide with his fitness. I know that sounds really dramatic. I truly believe that if this man gets injured out of the team, we are going to drop off hugely. I think he's a 9.5, only because I can't give anybody a 10 would mean perfect. I just think he's been brilliant. Wales have won 2-1, by the way. I just think James Maddison, I said during the summer, people can look back. You'll see the video where I've done it. I said is the best Spurs signing for over a decade in terms of a ready-made player coming in, hits the ground running, no time, no need to bed him in. None of this. He's young, just absolutely brilliant. What we needed. I can't speak highly enough about him as a footballer. I think he's brilliant.
So, because obviously I just saw the pointing down, and again, Kate in the comments, Alan's so negative. No, fuck this. I went for a 9. I was going to go for a 9. I'm going to do 9.5 because, like I said, don't do that. You guys have gone for 9.5. Fuck it, I'm going to go the other way. 10. There you go.
Wow.
Wow. 10. There you go.
You're so easily led.
I think that must have get into his head a bit. Must be strong mustard.
Alan, have your own mind, mate. Have your own mind. It's all right. We now know you're a follower.
No,
we now know you're a follower.
Did you guys go 10? Did you guys go 10?
No.
There you go then. So
we're not literally went with our own opinion.
I've got,
you know what I mean?
But I've gone to 10. I've gone what you guys haven't, so it's my own opinion, isn't it?
Okay. Alan's giving him a 10. I'll take that. But yeah, he is just superb. I mean, against Luton, I thought we were poor. And then that one bit of magic won the game. I know Van der Ven got the goal, but the one bit of the footwork from him got the game. I want to rattle through the lot of the top 3 in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to go with a front 3, by the way, of Kulu, Son, and Richarlison, just purely through game time this season. I'm going to start with the easy one, I think. I'll start with the easy one. Sonny. Haas, I'll come to you. Sonny, I thought started the season quite slowly, quite poorly out there on the left. Since he's gone into the middle, I think he's had quiet games, and then I think he's had exceptional games. Got himself 6 goals across 3 games. What do you make of him so far this season?
Yeah, hit and miss again, really. He's finding it difficult to sort of find the consistent form. I just think, obviously the captaincy, he's taken well to it. It seems like there's togetherness at the club. His likability factor, I think, is a big part of that, bringing everyone together. Turkey is qualified for the Euros, by the way, next season. Game's finished. I just think he could do a lot more at the moment, but it's just been too hit and miss for me. He has got goals, but he needs to do more at the club, I think.
Mm. Yeah, interesting. Katie?
Yes. I was going to say something else then, but I won't. Sonny, he hasn't been consistently brilliant, but I have to give a massive shout out to him for the way he's taken on the captaincy role, because I didn't think he was suited for captain, and I was totally wrong, because he has been magnificent as captain. I think now he's moved to the middle. As long as he stays there, we're going to see the best of him. But yeah, he's been good. He started hitting a bit of form, I hope, and I think so. But let's see what Alan says. He'll probably ask us first what we think. Do you want the answer, Alan, or are you all right?
He is a follower, isn't he? Go on, Alan. What are you talking about? What are we saying?
Well, I'll have you know, if you go back and look at this, I've given my scores before most of you, and people are copying me. So there we go. So go back and watch it. It's all right. Don't try at me. Look, Son from the out. If he was on the left wing, I think we'd be having a massively different conversation and debate about what input he's had in this team. But going through the middle, I think he's been involved in the game more. He's obviously shown what he can do. He's good at his finishings. When he's in the positions, it's really good. So that's why he's got the goals he has. And again, I think it was, although at the time, I agree, Jim. I agreed with you just after that, mate. Don't worry about it. I think I didn't want him as the captain, but I think it was the right choice in how the team's coming together under him, and it's all positive. It's no one being aggressive or out of order, or just people that don't really want to be there given the captaincy. So I think right choice for him to be captain. In the middle, I think if we were on the left, we'd be probably talking about 4 or 5 out of 10, but I think it's going to be higher, a lot higher, because of him being in the middle. I'm added on.
Yeah.
Get used to it.
Absolutely. Did I come to you, Has, for Sonny? You've done Sonny, haven't you?
I've done mine nice and quick. Yeah.
Yeah. No worries. By the way, just quickly, Norway have lost at home to Spain 1-0, which does mean that Scotland have qualified for Euro 2024. So they qualified for us, I think. Right, let's get some scores. Let's go with Alan first. See how he changes his mind again. Alan, Sonny.
Not going to change my mind at all. 7.
7. Okay. Kate, son.
Oh, I couldn't give him a 7 just for being the captain alone and being so brilliant. So negative, Alan. I'm going for a solid 8, purely for him being such a fantastic captain and the fact that now he's moved to the middle, he's looking more like himself.
Okay, 7, 8. Has?
8. I think there's more to come from him still, but 8 simply because he got those 2 goals against Arsenal as well. He showed great maturity and during that game, led the team well. So yeah, I think 8 is fair on reflection.
Yeah, I'm not going to jump on this hype, by the way, about captaincy. For me, I think it's easy to be a captain when your team isn't losing games. I want to see, I know that sounds harsh, but for me, I want to see a true leader is going to be when we're losing games. When we lose a couple, when things are getting hard, when the pressure is on, I want to see how he galvanizes and reacts. That's not just him, that's any captain, by the way. I want to see what they do to rally troops. So for me, that doesn't come into my thinking. I'm going to give him an 8 as well. 7.58. I'll be honest, for me, I think that when I'm seeing people in the chat say Sonny's a 10, there's too many games where he's not in it. There's too many games where he's not doing a thing. I thought against Luton, I thought he was poor. Again, look, by the way, sorry, not all of this is his fault. Some of it is the system we play and we struggled to get him into it. I thought against Sheffield United, I didn't see him. I thought against Luton, I didn't see him. I thought against... in the first couple of games of the season, I thought, again, he was pretty lackluster. But yeah, absolutely. But by the way, no, this is not what I said. That's not what I said. Let's not go there, Claude. Don't be Claude. I didn't say it. I said, yeah, a good captain can make you win games, but I want to see all sides of it. Same. I've said this about all the players, right? I want to see what does Vicario do when he makes a mistake. What does Van de Ven and Romero do when one of the other is out? Yeah. How do we react when we start losing a couple of games? I want to see this from everybody, not just Sonny, but as a captain, I think it's more important. But yeah, so I think Sonny's been good in the games where he's allowed to be good. In other games, I think we struggle. I think he struggles to get involved. So that's going to be a real interesting watch for me. So an 8 for Sonny. By the way, Sonny's wife has come in and said, hey, a 7. Hey, that guy wearing a grey T-shirt and looking 40 years old. Wow. Get evaluated by others too. I'll give you 0 points.
Wait. What does 40 years old mean? Because I'm 41. I'm not over the hill. And I know
it's somebody with a troll account. It's somebody with a troll account that, because I was saying about when Son was playing horrendous last season, saying sell Son, didn't say anything to me because Son's scored 6 goals this season and now pipes up a year later. You said we should have sold him. Where were you for the last year? Seriously, get over it. Get over it.
Listen, I think he's done well. I think he's, in the games where he does well, he does really well. And then in the other games, I just feel like I don't see him at all. And it's, again, a new formation, a new style of play. Teams are going to sit back against us. But Spurs really do have to figure out how do we get him involved in games like Luton, like Sheffield United, like the first game against Brentford. How do we get him in those dangerous positions? It's not an insult. It's just, it is what it is. Big up. Right. Let's rattle through these next 2 players really quickly. Richarlison. Richarlison, I think he's played more minutes probably than anyone other than Son and Kulu. Kate, Richie.
Oh my God, this will be easy. He's just not good enough. I just think he's been poor. I hear so many people defending him saying, yeah, but he's done so well doing this and he's done so well doing that and he tries so hard. I don't see it. I don't get it. He's got no touch with his feet. He scored a couple of goals with his head, which is great. But yeah, I don't even know what to say about him. I'm just at the end of my tether with him, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, nice, short and sweet. Haas, Richarlison, everyone's favourite Brazilian number 9.
Yeah, let's just put it this way. I've seen actual pigeons with better ball skills than Richarlison. So for me, yeah, just been a flop. £60 million worth of flop. For me, not good enough. Shouldn't be at the club.
Interesting. Alan, at the risk of upsetting Richarlison's wife, if she might be in the chat as well, what are we going to say?
I think Richarlison's wife's already upset with him in his performances for Spurs, so I don't need to add to it. Yeah, absolutely shocking. Not good enough for Spurs. I thought we could do a job this season. Completely wrong. Awful player.
Yeah, interesting. All right, Haas, give me well, that was the quickest of every player. Yeah. I mean, with some of the other players, you feel like you want to go over the top and you ground yourself a little bit. This was just like boom, boom, boom. Haas, out of 10 for Richie.
I was going to go with 4. I'm going to put a point in there and I'm going to give him a 4.5 only because he squared that ball for Kulusevski to score that last minute goal. We all know about. So yeah, 4.5 for me.
4.5. Alan, and your wall, what are you going to score it?
2.
Oh,
1 for the goal, one for the goal, 1 for the assist. There you go, 2.
2. Wow. Brutal, Alan there. Kate?
So negative, Alan. I'm going 3. 1 for the goal, 1 for the assist, and 1 for the pigeon dance. And that's it.
Positive. You're such a toxic positive fan.
Yeah, no, it's in all honesty, I'd be happily giving him a 0, but he has scored and he has assisted, so I'm going to give him a 3.
Yeah. A 3, a 4, a 4.5, a 3, and a 2. Listen, I'm going to give him a 4. And the reason he gets a 4 for me is that he works hard. Right, that's the nicest compliment I can give this guy, is he works hard and he's okay in the air. I watched this guy, like I think like you said, Kate, I've watched this guy get praised and defended time after time after time. His hold-up play is horrible. His link-up play is horrible. His touch is horrible. He's got no creativity in him at all. His shooting is some of the worst I think I've ever seen from a Spurs centre forward. This for me, you don't win titles, you don't win trophies with a player like Richarlison in your team. Sorry for me. I think we've got to cut our losses, and this guy's got to be out of the team as soon as possible. And I'm hoping that when Solomon, when Brennan Johnson, when Hill, when they're all fit, I am hoping that we're going to see less and less of this guy, because it is painful. It is really, really painful. It makes me think of last season and the season before and the season before, and everyone else doesn't. So, yeah, I'm going to give him 4 out of courtesy of him working hard.
Aww.
Last player, really, really quickly. We need to wrap through this. Dejan Kulusevski. Kate, no, let me start with the mustard. Kulusevski.
Kulusevski, for me, he's got better as the season's gone on. He's doing bits of his job, like, or what he's meant to be doing right. But when he's going forward, I need to see more of him taking people on and beating them on the outside as well as coming in on the inside. He's not doing that. He's predictable at times and can go missing, but his ball retention, his work off the ball, in keeping us up the pitch at times, is far exceeding what he's doing. Those stats are obviously quite high. So he's a player that can do a lot better. I think he will do a lot better as the season goes on, but it's just not enough of what we need from him. So yeah, for me, he's going to be a weird one to score. Kulu.
Yeah, Sonny's wife, relax, mate. Relax, calm down. It's okay. I know that whenever Sonny gets criticised by anybody about anything, people lose their mind. But everyone's allowed an opinion, all right?
Yeah,
So
you'll if Sava don't mind putting it out, if you want to come on and talk about it, you'll feel free to, but you won't do it. So there we go.
Let's have it.
Kate.
Yeah, I mean, Kulu's just not for me. I just don't like him in the system at all. Our first season, I thought he looked really promising. I just don't like the way he plays as a winger. I think he would be better in midfield. He's been playing as a second striker, I believe, for Sweden. I just don't think he suits the position that he's in at all. Everyone says his stats are off the chart, and maybe they are, but on the eye test, I just find him boring, predictable, slow. He doesn't do anything for me. So it's hard for me to judge him because personally, I just don't like the way he plays football.
No, listen, again, opinions. Everyone's allowed their opinion. Haas, what we saying?
Yeah, Kulu picks up the ball on the right-hand side, gets forward, cuts it back to Porro. And the reason he gets quite high stats on all these indexes is because he's on the ball quite a lot, but he cuts it back every single time. I want to see my man beating his opponent down the line and getting a ball in. You know, he just doesn't seem to do that for me. And it's just so frustrating to watch at times. It's just literally, if I'm not watching the game and I'm listening to Sava, and Sava says, Kulusevski's on the ball, on the right-hand side, acres of space, I know that there's not going to be a chance. There's not going to be any chance created. So it's just so frustrating to watch. So for me, I think he's been okay, but not good, if you know what I mean. Just, meh.
I think so. What you're saying now, I think it's very much this, isn't it? Lots of the ball.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've had people ramming it down my throat in the last couple of weeks of if you actually look at the stats of progressive passes.
No, mate.
Somebody messaged me saying about the passes in the final third. The problem is he always receives the ball in the final third, then passes it sideways into the final third, and it's like. But listen, all right, Alan, give me an out of 10 for Kulusevski.
6.
6. Kate, he's not your cup of tea.
He isn't my cup of tea, but he has done some good things with assists and crosses and occasionally, and I really am struggling to score him. I don't know what to give him, really. I'm going to go 5.5. And I think that's quite generous, really, because I just don't like watching him play. And I don't think he suits the system. But if they move him if Ange moves him to a different position, maybe I'd change my mind. See, look, 2 goals and assists. He has had them. I just don't like him.
So
For some reason, I just don't.
You're not going with your true opinion. You're going 5.5. So you basically just said you were going to go lower. So just go lower. It's all right.
No, I wasn't. I was going to go with 6, but then I took another half off because I just find him so boring to watch. So sorry.
Yeah.
Now 5.
Yeah. Oh my God! What? Sonny's wife can't calm down. I mean, it's getting silly now. It's just a show. Relax. Haas, Kulusevski.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Mustard. 6 for me. I just think he hasn't been that good this season in terms of his productivity. He has popped up with a couple of assists here and there, and I think that's what masks through everything. It's like, oh, Kulu's done this, Kulu's done that. For me, he's got to do more in game, man. He's starting the games. You know, he's the one that everyone looks to sort of get on the ball and drive forward. If your productivity is, not good, then why you shouldn't be on the ball as much, really. For me, he's got to be beating players. It's almost like, without going on too much, it's so predictable. Wow. And like you say every time, Sarr, if I'm playing against Kulusevski, I'm having an easy day. I just got to show him onto his right foot.
If you're a decent left back, you're comfortable playing against him, right? You're okay. Yeah. Look, guys, I don't think anyone's going to be surprised. I'm going to score him 6. I think that in this day and age, stats seem to cover everything. There are stats where you can make every player look great. I'm hearing stats being thrown at me for what Richie does with progressive passing and driving into the box and touches. And at some point, I've got to use, I've got to use my eyes. And that's when I say at some point, that's every point for me. I use my eyes. I'm with Kate. Kulu for me doesn't do anything for me. I don't hate him. I don't dislike him. It's just not my type of footballer. I don't think this guy's a winger. I truly don't think he's a winger at all. He can't beat a man. I mean, he beats his man every now and then, but for the amount he has the ball, I want to see more out of him. I want to see do something different, which doesn't involve cutting in and giving it to Maddison or Bissouma. So whether he's told to do that or not, I saw him kind of do a lot of this last year. I'm seeing him do the same thing again this year. I don't know. He's not for me. He's not for me.
He's the outlet, right? He's the outlet. Basically, when Maddison or anyone gets on the ball, he's the outlet.
Yeah, because they don't trust the left-hand side.
Yeah, the ball always goes through Kulusevski. But for me, for someone who's on the ball so much in game, should be doing a lot more. A lot more.
Look, do you know the thing for me is that I just look at it as well, and I look at what other clubs have done for the signings in that position, and then I look at Kulu and go, "Oh God, they're more my player." I can only do that as a fan, right? We can only do that. We can only say what we like. People can talk to me all day long, like, do you know how I know he's not a winger? Because the first thing people want to chuck at me when they're talking about this guy is his hold-up play. right. If I've never heard this before with wingers. I bet his hold-up play is brilliant. Well, hang on. He's not a centre forward. He's not a number 10 who's holding the ball up and bringing others into the game. He's a winger. And that's the thing for me. There's been so many times when we don't need the ball held up. You just need to go quickly, and he doesn't. Look, he isn't for me. I've given him a 6. He'll pop up with a goal every now and then. He'll get an assist every now and then. I just don't enjoy watching him. That's the only thing I can say. I don't hate him, but
doesn't he play in the midfield for? He played in the midfield for Juventus, I think, and then he played as a striker for Sweden. So why are we playing him on the wing? I don't understand.
Well, Anne just played in there. Conte played in there. I don't know. For me, maybe I'm missing a trick if he moves into the middle. I don't know. Maybe he moves in there and I go, oh, yeah, you're a player. But for me, it's just predictability for me is something I never like in a footballer. I never like it. I get bored watching players like that easily. But listen, it is what it is. But look, I think we've got some really, really high scores there throughout that team. Higher than we probably would have expected to be giving after 8 games. And you know what? I've loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. 2 hours without any trolls. Nothing's been silly. It's been really good.
Can we quickly give a quick score for Ange as well? It's only right. Just quickly.
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to give him a 9.5. 9.5.
Okay. All right.
Why? Explanation.
What, for Ange?
Yeah.
It's just because of what he's done in a short space of time.
Yeah.
That's all. But I just think, and as him as a person as well, someone who's come in, who's been so honest during his interview, someone who's so likable, approachable. The players like him, other fans like him from other teams as well. As a person and as a manager and as someone who coaches, I just think all round, I think a 9.5. If it wins a trophy, then it's a 10.
Yeah, Alan, quickly, do you want to give an out of 10 for Ange?
Yeah, 9. I'll take a point off for that Fulham, that Carabao Cup exit. I'll take a point off. So, yeah, 9 for Ange.
Kate?
I'm going 9.5 just because I love him so much. But the Fulham game was a definite no-no. And I don't always agree with his substitutions. But all the while we're winning, you kind of can't criticise it. But I do think sometimes his substitutions are a little bit suspect, I've got to say. But I'm still giving him a 9.5 because I trust in Ange.
Yeah, I'll give him a 9. I think the Fulham game annoyed me. I think everyone said, "Oh yeah, Chris, you're talking
This right here. Pin that, Sava.
We're talking levels. We're talking. We're
That is
talking
exactly
levels.
what I want to see in a winger. What Ginola used to do.
Yeah, levels. Yeah, we're talking there to can't lace boots. But we won't go and talk about that anymore. Just really quickly, for me, I would give him a 9. What he did against Fulham, I'll be honest, it did pee me off. When you see that we're playing like once every 8 or 10 games on average so far this season, I'm really peed off that those players couldn't have had one more game on that midweek and we go through. But that being said, the only other thing that goes against it for me is what Kate said. I do think that a lot of the time, some of his substitutions, I'm a bit like, it just feels like you're putting people on for the sake of it, not that we need them on. And I think Liverpool, we got away with it, but when you're playing against 9 men and you're bringing on a left back and two holding midfielders, I was confused. But listen, 9 out of 10. I don't think I'm not giving 10 out of 10 would have been if he had won all 8 games and we were still in the cup. But listen, thank you, Alan. Thanks so much. I really do appreciate it, mate. You've been a good laugh this show, and thank you for not getting too harsh at Sonny's wife. So so thank you very much, mate. And please get over and subscribe to Alan and his Mustard Wall at time added on. Thanks, Alan.
Apart from Sonny's wife, she's not invited.
Big up. By the way, you don't need to do that. I've already sent everyone over there, Bobby. We've got a redirect on. So the moment this finishes, everyone will be going over to Bobby K's channel. And please stick around for Bobby K's, to Jacob. He's a really good guy. And I'll be joining him in like 2 minutes. Kate, thanks very much. Good banter today. Good banter. Yours is normally a bit iffy, but today you were spot on.
Yeah, I'm not liking the grandma remark, especially because you ain't far off my age and you've got far less hair than I have, mate. Far less hair than I have.
Listen. You came out with shots firing about me and you have to take it back. Yeah, and you know what? Next time you do that, I'm challenging you to a duel. All right?
Hey.
All right?
That's so creepy, that picture.
What I don't like, though, is that whoever the actual fencer is has got a massive double chin. Right, and now it looks like it's my double chin. Look, I haven't got one. Look, I haven't even got a chin. Like,
Sava, you can just be honest, mate. That is you.
Yeah. When I'm not here, I'm in my other spare bedroom fencing. That's what I'm doing. Not like you with your mustard fence. Hass. But by the way, please get over to Just a Girl Enough Spurs, and she'll be back. She'll be maybe joining me for watch-alongs in the next few days, but we'll be back with our show on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Hass, thanks so much, man. A pleasure as always.
It's always a pleasure of the highest order, Sava, always.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Get over and subscribe to Hass at Southview Coys. By the way, tomorrow, we've got a double header for you tomorrow. In the late afternoon, 5 o'clock, we have got the England under-21 watch-along. They need to win that. If they don't win that, they could be in danger of not qualifying. And then after that, we've got a selection of Euro games to talk about. I'm sure some of these guys and girls will join me. Really enjoyed tonight. I think that's one of the best shows I've done for a while. Should I say, for a while. So thanks, everyone, for coming on. Really enjoyed that.
It's been a good laugh.
Everybody, much love. Stick around. Sending you over to Jacob, United Spurs of America. And we'll see you over there in a minute. Take care. Bye-bye.